Good morning. Hey, y'all. Good morning. Good morning. Thank y'all for joining. Been a busy morning. I'm here, though. I'm here, okay? Trying to multitask. Thank you guys for being here. I see my top flight is in the building. Hey, Tiffany. Thanks for joining. Who else is here? Audra Williams is here. Hey, April. Thanks for being here. April RN. Y'all need a good RN, honey. Holler at April. She got you. Audra Williams, Rosalind Davis. Overcomer I Am. Thanks for being here. Faith Williams is here. Andretta Wiggins is here. Jeannie Smith is here. Good morning, Jeannie. All right, let's get into our show because we have one. I see Denise Slade. She said, happy Monday. Yes, honey, happy Monday. Lord, honey. Monday. That makes the week sound longer, don't it? All right, let's go ahead and get into the show. Felicia BW, thanks for being here, dear. Thank you. I had to wet my whistle, child. Thanks for being here. Vernetta Evans, thanks for being here. All right, let's get into it. Of course, everything said in the video is alleged and in my opinion and is used for fair use and entertainment. Let's go ahead and jump on in to the show. Whew. All right, Atlanta Black Star. Let's get into them. Atlanta IRS, you guys, office has been overrun by rats and the roaches, honey. Workers finally get granted remote work after weeks of complaints. This is crazy, right, child?
My desk, minding my business, doing my work, and I looked through my peripheral vision, and there was a rat right there by my footstool. We looked at each other. It screamed, I screamed, and it ran back down the hall.
Several IRS employees tell CBS News Atlanta their building in Chamblee is full of unwanted guests.
They have found 8 rat nests in this building. Each nest can hold up to 100 rats. Rats multiply.
Denise Wells Gomez with the National Treasury Employees Union says the building is full of rat droppings, live rats, dead rats, and traps, rat traps on the outside of the building, mold, and collapsing ceilings.
When they came back from Memorial Day, this main building here had more rats in it. And now they're seeing like dead rats and traps, rats in their desks, feces all over the place.
Wells Gomez says some employees have resorted to sitting on their desk to avoid contact with the floor. Others have become ill.
They go up in the ceiling. They crawl in the walls. You don't know how many you got in there until you really shut down that building and it's quiet and they come out.
Toya Lytle Wilson is a current employee.
I don't know if I'm going to come in my desk and have someone sitting at my desk doing my job. That's a rat. And I'm not trying to crack a joke or nothing about that, but I don't need it. I got coworkers. I don't need that type of coworker.
She says workers feel forced to show up to the building, worried they could lose their jobs if they don't. A protest was held outside of the building Thursday afternoon. The crowd was small, we're told, due to fears of retaliation for management.
I worked in this building for 17 years.
Linda Ashley retired last November.
Oh, just the thought of it.
Because she couldn't deal with the conditions any longer.
I used to be afraid to wear open-toe shoes because I didn't know if something would crawl across my toes. So we'd like to get back to focusing on the work and not worrying about coming to work and if we're going to bring back any type of viruses or diseases home to our families.
Now that the IRS is allowing employees to work remotely, current employees say they hope that they can return to a rat-free building.
Child, just let me stay home. See, I love the capability of working from home. All right. I love being able to have my laptop, honey. I can come home. See me at home? Do you see me at home? All right, I had to go in the building for what? 5 weeks? Baby, I was happy to come back home. But this situation right here, I don't do rats and roaches, okay? No. Definitely not at no damn job where I got to be trying to earn a coin. You don't want to be sitting there typing up no damn email and a rat run across your damn foot and you open your drawer to take a pen out and it's a damn rat laying there and roaches crawling. Child, that is the infestation of the infestation, okay? That's nasty. They need to get that shit together. Atlanta. Oh my God, you just thought it was damn New York when you hear rats. Ooh. I don't even think about it. That shit would, I wouldn't even go in the office. Fire me, child. I don't like stuff like that. Hell no. All right, let's move along, child. Y'all sound off on that. Let me know how y'all feel. Chrisean Rock, honey. Chrisean Rock is accused of using Junior, her son Junior, in order to stay close to or be around Blueface. All right. Now, Chrisean explains that she will not put Blueface on child support because that requires a DNA test. So why do you want to take a DNA test? You're telling everybody that he's the father. Blueface has said multiple times he's not the father. All right. She also insists that she's not going to see him in LA, then turns around and exposes Jaden, Nevaeh, which is his supposed to be pregnant girlfriend, and another girl named Rhoa's pregnancy. Why do you care? Like, know when you got away, girl, right? I always say that. Know when you got away from the bullish. Blueface is very disrespectful towards women. He's been disrespectful towards Chrisean time and time and time again. Like, let this shit go. Why does it matter who he's with, who he impregnates, girl? As long as it ain't you. That's how you got to look at it. All right. And stop using this baby in order to be around him, in order to whatever you're trying to do as related to Blueface. Let it go. He obviously don't want you. He obviously ain't gonna do nothing but play in your face like he's done all this time. But it sounds a little sus when you say you don't want to have no paternity test or DNA test done. Because ultimately, if you're going to file for child support, that is going to be required so that they can establish who the father is. I'm gonna be honest. I still think it's the other boy, right? I still think it's the other boy, Ronnie, that's not here no more, right? That they said that you had something to do with, allegedly. But let's get into it. Shout out to All About the Tea on this one.
Because your heart isn't you. Your heart is broken. That I'm never coming back the way I was, or whatever you want to call it. So now he's trying to make me suffer. I don't care. I don't need to put nobody on no child support. You know why? I have a net worth. Like, I don't need nobody money for nothing. Like, I never did. Always been my own go-getter. It's just like, oh, he look fly. Elle get him ready. But yeah, that's just to let y'all know what's going on with that. Because y'all said, oh yeah, she going out there for Blueface. No, I'm not. I'm going to be standing away from him. Away from the cameras. I told him I'd drop his son off. But he just be in his feelings, y'all. He on his period. But yeah, I feel like, yeah, and I told him that in his face. I'm like, you got 3 girls pregnant. Like, we got no business playing around. You feel me? At all. Yes, I believe Nevaeh is pregnant, Jaden is pregnant, and that girl Rhoa. He got 3 girls pregnant currently. You feel me? So it's like, I don't want to be in no mess with you if it's not concerning your son, baby Jesus. If it's not concerning the baby, then I don't want to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? That's it. You got a lot going on. Because your heart isn't you. Your heart.
Baby Jesus. So she done named the baby Jesus now. Oh, okay. So as you guys can see here, Chrisean says that she will not put Blueface on child support. Doing so could require DNA tests. And she also insists that she's not heading to Los Angeles to see him. However, during the same conversation, she turned her attention to Blueface's personal life and began claiming that Jaden, Nevaeh, and Rhoa was pregnant by Blueface. Critics were quick to point out the contradiction, questioning why someone who represents herself as a Christian woman would be gossiping about other women's pregnancies while simultaneously, why I can't say the word, claiming that she wants no part of the drama. I feel like Chrisean is upset because Blueface doesn't just want her, and it hurts her to see him with other girls and doing his thing. She's been seen with him most recently, okay, locked up in a room, and then when she saw the camera saw it, then she wanted to start trying to talk about God, right? We see you, Chrisean. You still want Blueface, and you're using that baby in order to try to get him back, but it's not working. So you're using other tactics and you're taking your frustration out on the girls that he do hang around because it's not you, right? I'm not going to be around the cameras. Yeah, you won't be around the cameras when you're with him because you're trashing him on camera. So it wouldn't look right for you to do that. She knows exactly what she's doing. And stop straddling the fence. 1 minute you save, the next minute you cussing and carrying on and going off on Blueface. Like, girl, move on. Move on. Know when you got away. These stupid girls who mess with these crazy, disrespectful ass boys, let it go, honey. Nothing good is going to come from being with Blueface. All right. I don't know what kind of spell he has on her, but baby, move on. Move on. All right. Somebody else who needs to move on. Let's get into it. Child. She ain't gonna get that DNA test because it's gonna come up say Ronnie is that baby daddy. That's why she don't know damn DNA test. All right. Well, snaggle tooth ass. Shout out to Jasmine Brand. Dwight Howard says estranged wife Amber Howard knew that she could not have children and tricked him into marriage. I don't know if it was that. I think that both of them were slow. Both of these people on my screen are very much so slow, under the spectrum, over the spectrum, underneath the spectrum, all the way around the fucking spectrum, right? According to TMZ, the former NBA star accused Amber, who is also known as rapper and reality television personality Amy Luciani, of having a history of lying and manipulating him throughout their relationship. But you did too. Okay. Weren't you trying to coerce your kids into lying to the police on Amy to take the heat off you? Amy, you just as bad sitting in the car with kilos of cocaine trying to expose him. And if the popos would have rolled up on your ass, you'd been sitting in prison today. Okay. You've been sitting in prison, girl. I'm like, damn, girl, why you got all that cocaine in your car? All right, but let's continue. Howard alleges that Amber made false statements about him to law enforcement and has continued to spread misinformation about him during their split. Weren't you guys just on the Jennifer Hudson show, all hugged up and booed up and acting like y'all were getting back together? Now here he go again. This is the most toxic situation I've ever seen in my life. Howard also claims that Amber knew that she was unable to have children, but denied that fact and actively lied about it, which he says played a role in his decision to marry her. In the filing, Howard alleges that he ultimately was tricked into the marriage and described Amber as a master of lies and manipulation. Amber only married you to be your beard. We already know, and I feel like, and this is just my humble opinion, that Dwight really don't like women. And if he does, he likes to indulge in both women and men. There, I said it. Allegedly. Okay. All right, because we got too many guys coming out suing you, saying you on these dating sites, soliciting men and sexual favors from men, right? You just in a lawsuit recently. I feel like this was a lavender marriage, very, very lavender, very, very purple. I feel like that Amy was used as a shield for you to stand behind her and all the bullshit that you're going through, Dwight. I don't feel like you really love Amy. I feel like you use her to hide what's really going on with you. And I feel like she was happy to do that in order to have the lifestyle. She benefited from it just like you did. You guys used each other. And I feel like y'all need to move on at this point before somebody gets hurt, because Dwight, you do have like a little history. All right. I believe Royce when she said that you picked her up and threw her across the room. Okay. And took a 2-liter bottle of soda and threw it in her face. I believe that shit. I really do. I do. But the reasons that he's saying that he married Amy, I don't know. All right. I don't think that you're in any danger of having no more kids. Thank God. See that as a blessing, like you dodged the bullet of not having kids because you don't have that forever attachment, if you will, to Dwight Howard. Like, oh, look at what his other baby mamas are dealing with. Look at Royce. Look at the other baby mama who's trying to get her daughter back from him right now. Like, that's not a flex at all to be in that type of bullshit. So, girl, move on. I don't know why they're holding on. And now she's asking for spousal support. Now, that's another fight. Oh, my God. Get away, girl. Go, go, go. All right. Fly away, girl. Fly away, girl. All right, moving on. Child. A straightening comb can't straighten out Dwight Howard. All right. I'm gonna say it again. A steaming hot straightening comb straight off the stove could not straighten out Dwight Howard. Okay, moving on, honey. Revolutionary news. Shout out to you. A woman who was present in the courtroom for the Karmelo Anthony case says that Karmelo Anthony did not intentionally starve, for YouTube's sakes, Austin Metcalf. All right, let's go ahead and look at this. I don't believe he intentionally did that shit either. I think that he was fighting for his life, and I feel like this shit happened. I mean, and I hope he get out. Yes, I said it, and every time I comment on it, people get mad, and every time I say that I hope Karmelo gets out, I really do. I hope he get out, because I feel like it was self-defense. And yeah, the right people behind this case, he will definitely see the light of day. So let's get into it. And this is great. It makes me feel good to see a Caucasian woman saying this, because a lot of people say, oh, it's race driven. It's race driven. But when you have a Caucasian woman coming forward and saying the same thing we're saying, it kind of hit a little different, right? Yeah, I like you, lady. You my new best friend right now. All right, let's get into it.
The track athlete to tighten up the cleats.
Yeah, okay, and he had it in his hand, and the other kid fell on mine. I saw him. No, Didi, why not? You said I saw the other kid trip. You want to do that's why I said innocent.
Gotcha.
That's why I've always said he was innocent.
So
he never killed that child. He failed.
Yes.
He fell on him and was the cleat. And he
Yes,
had
ma'am.
that in his hand.
yeah, the tool is like a little tool like this, like a screwdriver.
So he was innocent
Completely, because you're allowed to have that tool as a track athlete to tighten up your cleats.
Yeah. Okay. And he had it in his hand. And the other kid fell on mine.
You know.
I saw him. I saw him.
No, Didi, why
Oh, you want it.
You said
I saw the other kid trip.
you the one
And that's why I said he was innocent.
Innocent. Gotcha.
That's why I've always said he was innocent.
So
He never killed that child. He failed.
Yes.
He fell on him and was the cleat. And he
Yes,
had
ma'am.
that in his hand.
yeah, the tool is like a little tool like this.
Austin Metcalf's daddy, did you see this video? Cuss her out, okay? Come on live and cuss her out and throw up your middle finger on her. All right. So as you guys can see, this woman, they say, isn't lying about what happened. She's saying that Austin fell on the multi-tool that ended his life and that Karmelo was not trying to intentionally starve him. It says that she's saying that Karmelo Anthony is innocent. I believe it. Now, they say it's amazing how people who actually saw the footage have a completely different story than the media, jury, and the prosecution. Now, the fact that they will not release the footage to the public is concrete evidence that they are hiding something. Didn't I say that the other day? Why they didn't play the footage in court? Why they didn't play it in court? Because they didn't want self-defense. They wanted first-degree unaliving. The footage alone could set Karmelo free, but they will not release it because it will implement the others involved, including Austin's brother in this crime. Well, Austin's brother need to be locked up anyway for assault and for lying to the police. We already done walked down all the crimes he was involved in, right? The judge needs to be disbarred, okay? The DA needs to be off. He needs to be off anyway. We just exposed him, what, yesterday, day before? For all the crimes he was involved in. Forcing himself on somebody. The hell you doing representing somebody when you got all that under your belt? But yeah, so thank you, Miss Mary Alice. I don't know your name. I'm gonna name you Mary Alice child, because she look like she could be a Miss Mary Alice. Thank you, Miss Mary Alice, for speaking up for Karmelo. All right, we love that for you, baby. Yes, we do. All right. And somebody else who we love, child, is also stepping up and giving their good coin towards the help and the support of Karmelo. And this person just lost their wallet in Charlotte. So if you guys seen Boosie's wallet, please let him know, because he is giving I think he said a $2,000 reward or something like that for anybody that called him and tell him that they found the wallet. I hope he canceled them cards though, because baby, I know they down to the mall getting them new J's and whatnot. Okay, so King Camille, shout out to you. They said that Boosie donated $500K to Karmelo Anthony. All right, they said that we need to support him. Boosie can do no wrong in my eyes. Now, sometimes Boosie say some things that's a little questionable, but I like Boosie. Boosie be out here helping the children. When that young boy that was down there in Louisiana, y'all remember the boys beat him up and tried to say that it was some type of AKA initiation or some shit like that with the what was it? I can't even think of it, y'all. Anyway, when he passed away and whatnot, when they beat him up and tried to lie about it, here come Boosie. Boosie came to the rescue and stepped up and helped the family out and raised money and everything, even though it didn't go well because some other shit was going on with that. But still, Boosie still stepped up and offered his good coin. And yeah, for the fraternity, y'all remember that the frat brothers killed that boy or unalived that boy down there in Louisiana and tried to lie and say something happened at a park when it really happened at the warehouse when they was punching the boy in the chest and he collapsed. Y'all remember? Boosie stepped up and gave his good coin. So they said that Boosie donates $500K to convicted unaliver Karmelo Anthony, and the internet is kind of furious that rapper Boosie wrote a check out for $500,000 and not to a charity and not to a scholarship fund, but to Karmelo Anthony, the 19-year-old who was convicted of unaliving 17-year-old Austin Metcalf. Well, you can't tell a person what to do with their money, right? If he has $500K that he want to write a check out to Karmelo Anthony and for the benefit of him, he has a right to do so. Who are we to tell somebody who to write a check out to and how they can spend their money, right? I love that for him. All right. Of course, we already know Karmelo was sentenced to 35 years in prison for stopping Austin Metcalf during a high school track meet. Now Boosie is using his platform and his wallet to support him. All right. We also, anybody else that want to support can do so. I gave you guys the information. I think I posted it on my Karmelo show page. If you wish to donate, you can do it that way. Of course, you guys know they've already taken down the Give, Send, Go that they had up, which reached up to 600 and something thousand. They started a GoFundMe. GoFundMe has also taken it down because of what Karmelo was actually convicted of, which is first degree unaliving. They don't want that connected to their business or their platform. Okay, so they will not allow them to start a GoFundMe or a Give, Send, Go in on their platform because of that. Okay, so shout out to Bootsy on that. Shout out to Bootsy. All right, moving on, child. Whew. I feel like I'm getting a headache, Lord. Reality recap. Shout out to you. Real Housewives of Atlanta fans revisit Kelli Ferrel's protective order case after tonight's episode. Y'all did see, if you guys watched Real Housewives of Atlanta from last night, Kelli did sit down with attorney Phaedra Parks, who represented her for free because Kelli ain't got no money. We also saw Kelli moving into Shamil's townhome. All right, I don't think that was just a friendly thing. I think that she had a little talk with Shamil and let her know, girl, I ain't got no money because my husband won't pay me no child support. And I'm broke over here, even though I just spent $72,000 on some fucking veneers. You know, I ain't got nowhere to stay. Kelli's priorities are so effed up because I feel like she is more concerned with keeping up with the Joneses versus handling her damn bills and responsibilities. You have children. Any other Black mother, even though the father don't pay child support or will not assist with the children, we as Black women will find a way, baby. We're going to have to get another job. We're going to have to do something. We create a little side hustle or two so that we can take care of what we need to. And if we come up on some good money, we're going to make sure that our kids are taken care of and not go laying down in some dentist chair to be getting some $72,000 damn veneers up in our motherfucking mouth. That's what we're not going to do. But and taking the business funds and going on vacation to Hawaii, that's something else Kelli was doing. But let's go ahead and get into this. So they're saying a timeline here. Shout out again to Reality T Recap. September of 2025, a temporary protective order was granted. October 27th of 2025, after a court hearing, the order was extended. December of 2025, the court entered an amended 12-month stalking protection. Now, while Kelli's version of events aired on Bravo tonight, court records show that a judge found sufficient cause to continue legal protections for the neighbor. Kelli was on some other shit with this neighbor situation. I remember because I think I covered this, where Kelli went over to the neighbor's house and was on some threatening type shit. Let's get into it. During tonight's episode on Real Housewives of Atlanta, Kelli Ferrel referred to her former neighbor as a stalker. How they're stalking when you went to their house? That's what I don't get. See, Kelli, you're gonna spin that narrative, girl. And suggested that the neighbor was the one causing the problems. However, court records tell a more complicated story. Now, a temporary protective order was granted in favor of the neighbor in September of 2025. Following a court hearing in October, the order was extended. Then, and of course, we just read all of that. Now, while Kelli's version of events aired on Bravo tonight, the court records show that the judge found sufficient cause to continue legal protections for the neighbor. While they said that that's why some viewers are revisiting the case after watching tonight's episode. Let's check it out. They pulled the court docs. I love a good court document. We're going to read some here in the end because I got Mel and Martell's court docs and we're going to read them. All right. So we can get a clearer understanding. All right. Manolda Cash. Who is Manolda? Child, that sounds like something that's going to toilet. Manolda, child. Who named their child that? Civil action filed number 25 CVO12061 against Kelli Potter Ferrel, which is the respondent, amended stalking 12-month protection order. A hearing was held on this matter on October 27th of 2025, at which the respondent appeared, respondent, which is Kelli, and or was provided with the opportunity to be heard, and the petitioner, which is the Manolda Cash lady, requested that the protective order entered in this case be continued. Having heard the evidence presented, reviewed, and the petition and the record concerning this case, and for the good cause shown, it is hereby ordered and adjudged. Number one, the respondent has knowingly and willfully violated a certain code and placed the petitioner in reasonable fear for the petitioner's safety. Now, we did see Kelli be a little violent on Real Housewives of Atlanta this season towards Portia, where she picked up a wine glass and also cussed Portia out and made threats towards her. So we do know that Kelli does have a little rah-rah in her, so to speak. Wow, I lost my place. Okay. Respondent is hereby enjoined and restrained from doing or attempting to do or threatening to do any act constituting a violation, and then it gives that code, and of harassing, interfering, or intimidating the petitioner or petitioner's immediate family. Specifically, respondent is hereby enjoined and restrained from, which is violation of, and then it gives another code, and that any future acts committed by the respondent towards the petitioner, which are in violation of this statute and the protective order, can amount to aggravated stalking. That's some jail time. All right, which is a felony. You'll be in jail for a very long time for that. All right, so y'all keep going to people's house and bothering them, calling them when they tell you to leave them the fuck alone. Aggravated stalking is what? A felony. All right, don't get no felonies out here. A person convicted of aggravated stalking shall be punished by imprisonment. Y'all hear that? For not less than 1 nor more than 10 years, and by a fine of not more than $10,000. Now, if you ain't got a place to stay, I know you ain't got $10,000. All right. You better leave people the fuck alone out here. If they go file something on you, aggravating stalking will get you 1 to 10 years and $10,000. Oh, girl. Respondent is enjoined and restrained from approaching within 200 yards of the petitioner and or petitioner's immediate family and or residence, place of employment and or school. And then it says on number 3, respondent is not to have any contact of any type, direct or indirect, or through another person with the petitioner and or his immediate family, including but not limited to telephone, fax, email, and or any type of communication. That means, bitch, don't even sneeze their way or your ass is going to be here with it, with them cuffs on your wrist. All right, so shout out to Reality Recap for pulling that. Kelli likes to be playing victim all the time, but court documents will not lie. All right, so shout out to them for sharing that. Y'all sound off and let me know what y'all think. We're getting into the reality TV portion of the show. Let's get it. Let's go. Shout out to No Chaser on this one. I think yesterday I talked about Ralph being messy. All right. After he went and filed a motion against Drew, as you guys know, Drew and Ralph have already finalized their divorce. Both of them had a gag order where they were not supposed to speak on the other and or the outcome of their divorce decree. But they both, of course, scurried on over to the internet. Thank you for doing it because they gave me some content. But y'all both violated, so you both probably will be facing something court-wise. But Dennis McKinley, who we all know is Portia's baby daddy, here on my screen, smiling like the crazy-ass ninja that he is, he has let Ralph know to keep him out the group chat as related to this. So Ralph wrote a little message saying, "Oh, thank you, Dennis, for giving me, putting me in line with this attorney and helping me get my divorce from Drew, You guys already know that Drew and Dennis work very closely together because he is like her producer for her movie and some other things that they do, child. I don't know. But anyway, said that this comes after Ralph thanked Dennis for his divorce attorney. So Ralph was being messy and went straight to the media to let everyone know that Drew's producer, the person who she works with, actually helped him get his divorce, which I thought was messy as fuck. But Dennis says, go downstairs to the basement and tell Ralph that he is tripping on the announcement and not go downstairs in the basement. All right, so this is what Ralph had to say with his messy ass. He was probably wearing some pink panties when he typed this shit up too, because he acts just like a fucking female. Ralph gets on my nerves, but let's get into Ralph. All right, yeah, just like Martell. This has been one of the most challenging chapters of my life, but I'm grateful for the people that God placed around me to help me walk through it with faith, strength, and grace. It's amazing how people always like to use God when they're on the bullshit, right? When they're being messy and petty, they always want to put God in there. God, like, how I get in this? I'm forever grateful to my attorney, Miss Precious Anderson. Thank you for believing in me, standing beside me, and guiding me through this difficult process with wisdom, dedication, and integrity. At Dennis McKinley, through Dennis in there. Thank you for connecting me with Precious. She did everything you said she would. Okay, just like she helped you get joint physical custody. Why you had to put his business out there? Said to everyone who prayed, encouraged, and supported my family, especially our children, thank you. Your grace and kindness means more than you know. Oh, this nigga wrote a speech. Jesus. No one wins when the family feuds. Well, stop feuding. Said that my focus now is peace, healing, and continuing to show up for my children with love, strength, and consistency. Nothing matters more than being the father that they need me to be. Well, why are you typing all this? And why are you putting Dennis' business out there about his custody issue? Did we need to know that? If he didn't want to tell that, it was not your place to do it. So anyway, Todd says, bro, I hope you find peace. Look at Todd. Todd, sit the fuck down, okay? Todd says, bro, I hope you find peace, love, and health as you enter this next chapter in your life. God is good. Okay, y'all know Todd went to church like 4 times, so he's saved now, right? So Todd said he never went to church in his life till him and Candy got divorced. So he done went to church like 4 services, girl, and he is saved. So now everything is God this and God that. Okay, Todd, damn. So you know, stole a Bible from the hotel, and now you save Todd. Go sit down, Todd. So Ralph then says, Todd, thank you, bro. God is the greatest. Lord God. But anywho, so yeah, child, they done went in that store. He done went down there to the hotel and had one of his booze up in there and opened that little top drawer, because you know they always have the Bible in the top drawer at the hotel, right? And he done put it in his suitcase and then went home and then went to 4 church services and not a nigga saved. Boy, get out of here. All right, we're not trying to hear that bullshit. But thank you, Ralph, for that damn synopsis of the lies that you gave us. All right. Yeah, Ralph is a bitch ass nigga. You right. You right. From Magic City to the church pew, straight from Magic City. All right. You done been watching booty cheeks clap all night. Now you up here talking about some God is good. Y'all be doing too much. I can't, right? I cannot. You up there like this Saturday night, all Saturday night, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Get in church on Monday. This is you Monday. This you Sunday morning. After you done been watching booty cheeks clap all night on the front row at church. On this shit here. Hallelujah. Oh, you done felt it. Child, sit down. Playing with Lord and him for your ass get struck down. Strike him down, Lord. Strike a part in the middle of his head so he can sit his ass down somewhere. All right. Oh, y'all be playing with God too much. Playing with God too much. Y'all better look at some of these people to be playing with God. All right. Eddie Schlong, is he here? The nigga bust out in a muscle shirt. I'm going to preach in a muscle shirt. God said, no, you won't. Come on home. Down there, though. Don't come up here. That's what the Lord told him, child. The Lord told him, come on home. All right. Down there, though. You ain't coming up here. Don't you think you're coming up yonder. You going down yonder, not up yonder. All right. You and your muscle shirt was on fire down there hollering while Satan was putting them flames upon your ass for up here playing with the Lord and whatnot. All right. So no chaser. Y'all better stop playing with the Lord. Who else is playing with the Lord? Jamal Bryant, yours coming too. Shout out to Tasha K for getting ready to do that interview with his baby mama and gonna put it out on Father's Day. If that ain't the messiest shit ever, I cannot wait for that interview to drop because I'm gonna cover that. Y'all know I'm covering that. I done told you. Who else was playing with the Lord? Somebody else, child. Somebody else out here playing with the Lord. Juanita Bynum, you too. You too, Juanita Bynum. I done saw you out here looking like a swole seal. Yelled them, no more sheets. Yeah, stay out the sheets, bitch. Yes, I said it. Okay. You only just because you do this don't mean you saved. Because you do this in the camera, Juanita Bynum, I see your shit. Okay, you don't went and got your pedicure. You want me to see your manicure and pedicure and shit. You up here want me to see your new manicure. Doing this shit here. Girl, you sit your ass down with your wig on crooked and whatnot. Your part's supposed to be right here. Your part way over here. The side part in the camera on this shit. Sit your ass down. I ain't even feel the spirit through that bullshit. I sure didn't. I ain't feel that shit. She on that. No more sheets. Sit your ass down. No chaser. Thank you. All right, Candy, child. Candy done came out of the closet in her interview, girl. We already knew Candy. All right, we knew you was a carpet muncher, girl. We knew you was spraying that extra, where's my carpet shit down there and down there. Blah, 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 blah. We already knew it. All right, that's why your marriage did not work out. So Candy Girl dropped a new episode of Speak On It. All right. They was like, girl, did you sing too? Let's hope not, girl. This Candy child warming up. This Candy. Nothing you can tell me. That's Candy child. I said, oh girl, let me cut my fan on high so I can sing like Candy. But with guests, the Brad and Judy child. Oh, y'all know I had to give y'all some candy this morning, child. Baby, all right, y'all know Candy. Crank that fan up and get to singing, okay? Oh, let me do a little bit. This for you, Candy. Every man was a woman to cook them up a good meal. Yeah, girl. Come on, Candy. Sing, Candy. All right. But let's get back, child. All right, so as always, the conversation, child, was riveting, and the discussion went to places that only Kelli could take it, Lord. As the trio discussed sexual identity and revealed some reality TV tea as well. Let's get into what Candy had to say. Candy, please don't start singing. Oh, hold on, let me pray. Lord, don't let Candy start singing, Lord. All right, let's get into it.
Before we move forward, I have to ask you this question. What do you consider yourself to be, like, bi? Do you consider a lesbian now?
I feel like sometimes that's a layered question, because if I'm in a relationship with a woman, I wouldn't be considered bi because I'm not.
Well, the reason why I say that is because I was in a relationship, obviously, with a man, but I still answered bi, just simply because even though I'm not necessarily, acting out anything with somebody else other than my husband, or maybe sometimes we act out together, whatever. But the point is, it's like, I feel like you can be bi, but still faithful in your relationship to whoever you are with.
Yeah. So I don't know what I would label myself as. I don't think I would go back to men.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't.
But in your life, you were bisexual.
Yeah, I have children. Yeah, so I've dated men, and she will tell in the story that there was a boyfriend when we first started dating, and she ghosted me. I had a boyfriend, but yeah.
Okay, so did everybody know that you was bi? Like, was that kind of like where you lived? I'm saying, like,
yeah. She was never in the closet or nothing. She lived out loud.
I had a public relationship with a woman.
You know, I was in the closet. Yeah. You grew up with me, bitch, so you know I was in the closet.
Yeah. It was always that thing of people would know, but it was like untalked about situation.
Because you couldn't back then. You couldn't really talk about. You couldn't be like out loud and stuff.
Yeah, I don't think it was as accepted. Obviously,
I don't know why people be saying, and Candy, you kind of threw me with that, where you say you were in a marriage, but you were bi. You were married to Todd, but you were bi. Not to say that you can't be. It just don't fly out right. It don't sound right to just hear you say it, because I think we've known for years that Candy like girls. Like, I think we've known that. Okay, and Candy, you kind of been around in the industry a lot. Not to call you a whore, but You've been quite around the block a bit in the industry. Like, you've been with quite a few people in the industry, Candy. You really have. You got a lot of miles, girl. You do. But maybe that's why you say like, girl, because they your head have been in the headboard too many damn times. I don't know. But maybe you just want to pick one, and not to say that you have to, because I'm really trying to walk on eggshells with this, because y'all know the LGBTQ barbecue community would be on your ass if you don't talk right when it comes to this shit. But at the end of the day, Candy, I feel like you don't know what it is that you want. I feel like you've been a little greedy. I feel like you want to be married, or wanted to be married, and then still have your cake and eat it too. I don't feel like Todd wanted that shit that you was trying to bring into the bedroom, but I think he did it in order to please you, and the shit backfired in your face. And now you're trying to figure out how to normalize the bullshit in order to keep yourself pleased. All right. I think she might be still running around town with that girl for Toom, because they still be going on vacation and stuff. But bottom line is, I don't think that you're going to ever have a healthy marriage with anyone unless they just down with that bullshit. Of having other women and other people in their bed. Ultimately, like I said, I'm old school. I don't want nobody else in my bed. I don't want to sit back like K. Michelle and watch my husband digging bitches out. Like, that's just not my thing. I'm not sipping on my wine and watching another woman's legs up in my fucking bed. Like, you ain't even going. I don't like you sitting on my bed, let alone being in my bed. But it's just, I don't know. It's the relationship scene now, 2026, is so relaxed, and people are trying to normalize things. It's just not normal. But hey, if that's what you like in your bedroom, it is what you like. Let's get back to it, child.
I even thought, I know it wasn't as accepted as now.
Right.
Yeah, but it's funny. I tried to get her to do this reality show.
You sure did. When I first got out of jail, when I first got out of prison. I was.
What was the show?
About some lesbian shit.
So Candy says that she would consider herself bisexual, and reveals attempts to cast the brat in a lesbian reality show, Secret Society.
What was it? Secret Society.
Secret Society.
And actually, DJ M. It was like,
it was good people.
It was good people on the show. Like, very good people that was gonna be on.
Is it me, or does it seem like Candy be making these shows and movies that be directly about her? You guys remember she and Todd did that movie where Drew Sidor played like the leading role, where Drew was married to this man. but she was seeing this lady on the side who she was getting licked up and down and all that. Kandi, I feel like that was you in Todd's life. I feel like y'all were living outside. You were putting your life in our faces, I feel like, in that movie. And now you want to do this about this bisexual show about secret society. I feel like this is you coming out and really showing the world what it is you really want or that you're experiencing.
I was scared though.
Yeah, she was
like, oh, Kandi.
She's like,
I'll do whatever, but not this. Let's do something. Yup. She kept saying, girl, but everybody know. I'm like, well, I ain't tell them.
Yeah.
Not yet. I ain't telling. I wasn't gonna tell them neither. I had not planned on telling anybody shit until she came into my life.
Well, you know, back then, coming out and telling people that you were gay was just not the thing to do. That would fuck up your career for real. People would not fool you. They'd be like, what? Girl, no, y'all know Queen Latifah. She sat on hers forever. And I mean, go look and Set It Off. Did she play that role good when old girl was sitting on the hood? And I mean, we were like, what the fuck is this, Queen Latifah? But I think people always knew Queen Latifah was that way. She's never came out in any interviews to say, oh yeah, I'm gay or I'm this. I mean, she married to a whole woman, and she's never come out to tell nobody that that's who she is or to reveal her sexuality. I mean, it's her business, not that she has to, but I don't think people want to commit career suicide by telling people what they like or how they live, right? I think they keep it on the hush and get their money and keep it moving. I think that's why Brat never came out to say that she was that way. But I think ultimately people knew, right? But she has been known to date guys like Rashida's husband, Kurt, back in the day, right? Did y'all know that? She and Kurt dated forever, and Kurt pursued her for a long time, according to her. And Kurt co-signed that as well prior to Kurt and Rashida getting together and getting married. He dated the Brat for a little bit, and he dropped lots of dimes on her ass while they were together. Brad said he was buying her Cadillac Escalades, not Escalades, but what was it? I forget the type of SUV she was saying. But yeah, so Brad, she's been known to date guys, but I feel like she really liked girls, but she never wanted to come out and say it because she didn't want to mess up her career. She was getting money back then, and a lot of people don't. So moving on, child. Kandi, girl. Kandi, come on out, Kandi. Come on out, child. 12 years of being with Todd, and here we go. All right, so Cynthia Bailey was on Watch What Happens Live last night after Real Housewives of Atlanta aired, and she talks about how she feels about K. Michelle being on the show. Y'all know that Cynthia can now be seen as like a veteran on the show. She is a friend of this season, and yeah, let's get into it. Shout out to Andy. The reunion is coming up here soon. I can't wait to see how that's going to be because it looks like it's going to be so we'll be covering it. Let's go.
So, Cynthia, what veteran advice would you give to K. Michelle after watching her struggles throughout her first season?
Well, first of all, I just want to say I think Kay is a great addition to the cast, to be very honest.
Me too.
I think she's great. She's like, I've been around for a long time, and I will say Kay was one of those additions where I was super excited about her.
Yeah.
But the whole time I just never knew where we were going, which is kind of exciting.
Is her earring broke? Don't look like her earring broke. What the hell?
Exciting. So I was like, well, if I don't know what's happening, I'm here, then you guys are not going to know what's happening. And I think sometimes with the housewife shows, it gets a little predictable and same stuff over and over. Okay, like we don't know what's like. You just gotta get on the ride and go. Yes. So I would say I think she's still finding her footing.
Yes,
and I think that you guys will she just needs to kind of trust the process. She's great TV.
All right, Bravo Buddies wants to know.
But do it take a whole season for her to find her footing though? Because K. Michelle, this is not like this is your first time being on TV. Like you were on several seasons of Love and Hip Hop, baby. So you should have came in the door swinging. If anybody got the resume of being ratchet, baby, it's you. You got the ratchet resume. So you should have came in the door, kicked the door down, and came in. And you should have been on this shit. So you sitting on here crying and carrying on and holding on to the same bullshit on episode 1 and they on episode 7. Like, catch up, bitch, catch up. Because everybody's like, they want you off the show now. So I don't feel like we need to keep waiting for K. Michelle to get her footing. Bitch, you had your footing coming in the door. I can't agree with you on that one, Cynthia. I cannot agree with you on that one because it's just giving that we are now making excuses for somebody who just really don't want to put in the work. K. Michelle is coming in the door with this entitlement because she's been on TV because she feels like she's this huge star and she don't feel like she got to work as hard as the other girls. And I just think that she needs to get her ass in there and get to work. If you're going to be on Real Housewives of Atlanta, you got to be able to take a licking and keep sticking. These girls are going to talk shit to you. They're going to talk about your mammy, your greasy grandmammy, dig up 3 ancestors and talk about their ass too. You cannot be sitting in cars crying. You got to fight back. And if you ain't trying to do that, get the fuck off the show. And I like you, K. Michelle, but you're not giving. And when I'm saying that about somebody I like, baby, you know I'm being honest. Right? You're just not giving. You're not giving. So yeah. And Andy was like, yeah, you know, I had high expectations. He liked her. But do I feel like Andy is really being honest about K. Michelle giving her all and helping with the ratings? I don't. Real Housewives of Atlanta ratings are not where they're supposed to be. Right? And somebody is dropping the ball. And K. Michelle, you are one of them. But let's continue.
Cynthia, what veteran advice would you give to K. Michelle after watching her struggles throughout her first season?
Well, first of all, I just want to say I think Kay is a great addition to the cast, to be very honest.
Me too.
Sorry. You ain't got to say no more. I disagree. I thought she was in the beginning because I was like, oh my God, she going to come in and be like, she just ain't giving it. And I'm tired of waiting. Like, what, we about to have a reunion, child. When you gonna clock in? Shit. When you gonna clock in? All right, so let's get into this Kelli Ferrel scene with Shamia. I said, now I see why Kelli and Shamia are friends. Because you needed her. She looked over there and said, oh, Shamia got coin. Girl, we friends. You and Portia ain't friends no more. I'll be your friend because I need a place to stay. And I need a little coin here and there. Because my baby daddy ain't paying me no child support. So let me go on over here and be fast friends with Shamia. And Shamia needed you too because she didn't have her alliance with Portia. So it kind of worked out. But Kelli, in this scene here, Kelli Ferrel is moving out of her, I guess, townhome apartment, whatever she's staying in, and moving in. Shamia is allowing her to move into her place. But they trying to say until you find your own place. I think she's going to be staying there for a little spell till she get her money right. Let's go ahead and get into this scene. Because Kelli be trying to pretend like she's that girl, like she got the money like that. No, you don't, Kelli. You are broke, and you need to sit your ass down.
It's finally getting empty, girl. Finally.
Damn, this is crazy to see. All packed up.
It's definitely time for me to just have a restart and, you know, be at peace. I've never had to live anywhere where I've been uncomfortable. And my home is no longer peace for me. And that is a problem. You know, I went to court the other day for the neighbor.
I just feel like with that, you just need to move. You need to have peace. You need to have serenity.
My neighbor, she's been harassing me from day one. Between stalking me, stalking Chloe, booting her car. I had to call the police on her. It just became out of control. You know, I have to protect my babies. And I'm like, once that nonsense hit the blogs and she's commenting and doing all these things, I'm like, let me get out of here. To move.
Pause. Did we not just read the documents? Kelli, you were the aggressor. You cannot call. You cannot be around. You cannot contact because you were the aggressor. So see how you flipped the narrative and got on the show for your little storyline when your ass is lying, not counting on people to pull them court documents on your ass? Yeah, girl, drink in your face.
Move within a week or two has not been the easiest thing. The girls are handling it so gracefully that they allow me to have a sense of calm. You ready, Cha-Cha? Let's get this show on the road, girlie. Cha-Cha, we gotta go. I've been having like so much anxiety just with everything. So,
but that's why you gotta leave people where they at. You have to be Beyonce to the bullshit.
I know, but sometimes I want to be the Cardi B to the bullshit. Here we are. Hello. Oh my God, hostess with emotion. Hello. Well, moving out and moving to Shamia's townhouse is definitely not on my bingo card. So to have my bestie say, hey, until you find something that is comfortable for you and the girls, I have a whole empty townhouse. As hard as it is for me, I'm grateful. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Man, look at this. Oh.
This townhouse was one of the very first investment properties that I bought within my marriage. When I found out that Kelli was going through, I was like, absolutely. It feels so good to be able to help the people that I love.
Thank you for being such a good friend to me.
Well, you're a great friend to me, and it feels great to have someone reciprocate that.
Thank you. Yeah. I mean, this feels so good. It really does.
Why are you
When-
looking at me?
I know that she was having a moment like, Kelly, it's okay to come home. And I'm like, for convenience for where I am right now, you know, you're closer to McDonough. I'm closer to the restaurant in Sandy Springs.
Now I feel bad. I'm like, now I took your baby from me.
Not her. My children.
Her grandchildren. Yeah, but how about this? You can come pick
Every
them up on
weekend.
Friday. They'll be ready. The bags is packed. Okay?
Deal?
Deal.
1, 2, 3. Deal.
All in.
I was just thinking, Kelly, you could be facing a violation for even mentioning that on national television and spinning the narrative in terms of making it seem like, because it could be seen as harassment. If your neighbor go to the police station and say, this person is still harassing me indirectly by going on national television and saying, I am harassing her, I am doing this, I am doing that, when clearly the paperwork, the court documents show that you were the aggressor and you were ordered not to have any type of contact, this could be an indirect contact. It could be looked at as indirect contact and your ass could be locked the fuck up. Yeah, you could, because you're trying to have a storyline on this show. You're not supposed to be talking about your ex-husband. You've done that. That's a violation too. All right. He's asked for you not to speak on them. Your children cannot film. You already know that, but you're asking Phaedra how to get around your kids being able to film on the damn show. And you're not supposed to be speaking about, you literally have a gag order on this neighbor that you were harassing and went to their house on the bullshit trying to fight them. And now you're on national television saying that they were the aggressor. I had to call the police on them. No, you are the aggressor, Kelly. So don't be surprised if they see this episode and go down there to the police station and have you violated for aggressive harassment and stalking. We might not be seeing Kelly next year on the show next season. Several people said Kelly might not be on the show next season, and that might be why. If you don't see Kelly, her ass might be locked the fuck up. There you go. All right, what y'all think about that? Kelly with her lying ass. I don't know who lied more, Kelly or Drew. I feel like y'all are in a rat race to see who can lie the most. And right now, Kelly, you kind of winning. And I ain't never think you can outlie Drew. But go off, sis. Go off. But yeah, Kelly might be looking at some good charges, because that was a whole a bone face lie, like Tisha said at the reunion. You a bone face lie. I said bone face. What's a bone face lie, girl? That's a new kind of lie. I ain't never heard of that kind of lie. But let's get into these court documents with Melody and Martell, child. Let's get a closer look. Pardon the copy. I try to get a better copy of this. All right. Shout out to my source for sending it. Okay. I tried to get a better copy, but this is all I could get, guys. But nevertheless, I'm reading it to you. I'm putting it on the screen so you guys can see what is going on. All right. So let's read up. Let's get in some business right quick. Let's get in some folk business. All right. In the Circuit Court of Madison County. All right. Melody Cherie Holt, which is the plaintiff, versus Martell Lavore. Get on my goddamn nerves. Holt, which is the defendant. Case number DR 2020-900543.01. The order. Let's get into the order. All right. Let's get into the order. I don't know if y'all heard these nowhere else. We're going to read them now. This cause came to be heard on the date and all parties were present. Upon consideration of this testimony presented and tenuous, I think, the exhibits introduced into evidence and the arguments and whatever to counsel. Oh, it's kind of blurry. I'm sorry, y'all. Pardon me if some of the words I can't see. Just pardon me. The court finds the following facts. Since the inception of the current litigation, both parties at various times have demonstrated to this court the inability to co-parent and have displayed the inability to follow this court's orders. Not just Martell. It's saying both. That's what the court's saying. This court has had to address this behavior through, what is this? Staunch administrations. No. Yeah. In open court to both parents, as well as the entry of sanctioned orders against the father. Ooh. Let's see what they're saying, child. Y'all know they just went to court on the 13th. During the current trial, the court has found the testimony of both parents to be less than genuine. Ooh. Each parent can only recall testimony in their favor, but are evasive in other respects. Regardless of the frankness of their testimony, the court acknowledges that the father has made positive strides and is placing his children's best interest first. Y'all sure? Okay. I don't know who's reporting back, but okay. However, the court cannot find the same for the mother. In this late stage of litigation, the mother has continued to demonstrate to this court an inability to co-parent. She has blocked the father from her previous cell phone on multiple occasions and by her own admission, blocked him from periods of in excess of 1 month. Oh, wow. Additionally, by her own admission, she acquired a new cell phone on October of 2022 and has failed to give the father her phone number, a clear violation of this court's parenting clauses, see paragraph, whatever. At all times hereafter, each parent shall keep the other informed of the respective business, cellular, and home telephone numbers and their respective street address, mailing addresses, and electronic mail addresses, unless leave of court is granted. Child, are these old? Somebody send them to me. I said I'm gonna read them. Neither parent will harass or burden the other with excessive or abusive telephone calls, which we know Martell has done, because didn't he try to tap her call or phone, or other such non-productive communication? Further, both parents shall refrain from delegating their responsibility of communicating with the other parent to third parties, except in bona fide emergencies, and will reasonably and at reasonable times and places make themselves available to communicate directly with the other parent pertaining to the needs and interests of the children. If agreed upon by both parents, electronic mail services such as the Wizard or Google Calendar may be used to track communications and share appointments and events between parents. We already know that they are communicating through some type of app, because Martell cannot stop harassing. Like, I know he only supposed to be calling as related to the children, but I know at one point Mel was saying he was calling and wanted to argue and talk about other stuff unrelated to the kids, right? Which is why she had to change her number, because he wouldn't stop calling her. But I can say this, Alabama court system, y'all are very much so flawed and fucked up, because I feel like this. If a parent is abusing a child, I don't see still sending said children or child to that parent for visitation. I feel like there needs to be some type of mediator there. I feel like that parent should lose visitation until they go through some type of parenting class, until some type of investigation is done to see if this is what said children are dealing with, because continuously sending the kids to a home where they're constantly verbalizing that they are being abused or hit, grabbed around the neck, pulled. I'm just throwing out, things. I don't feel like those children should be sent in a place where they are being abused constantly and they're crying and they're telling the other parent that this is what's happening and nothing is being done. So Alabama court system, y'all need to step it up and have the children's best interest at heart. All right. That's just how I feel. We've seen this time and time again. Like, literally, they've been going to court since they got divorced. And the children have been directly in the middle of the bullshit as well. And ultimately, it should be about the kids. All right. Let's keep reading. The mother testified that she required the father to contact her through her work email only. The mother further testified that she does not let her children have the cell phones that the father purchased for them during her custodial weeks of custody. I wouldn't either, because who knows what kind of devices or anything. He could have been tapping the kid's phone, and as soon as Melody started talking, he's recording from his house. I wouldn't put nothing past Martell. I wouldn't want nothing from him in my house. Therefore, the father has no way of contacting his minor children during the mother's week of custody unless the mother sees the father's request via her work email. More concerning of this court, the father has no way of communicating with the mother if an emergency exists with the minor children. Martell, quit like you care like that. You do not give a fuck. You over there with Knox while he drop kicking your ass in the damn forehead. All right. This was clearly illustrated when the father had to contact an associate to notify the mother via social media to contact the father regarding an issue with one of the parties' minor children. The mother has failed to give the father the right of first refusal in violation of this court's custody schedule. See paragraph 1B. Visitation rights shall be allowed to the other parent in lieu of a child being cared for on an overnight basis by any person other than a parent or the parent's spouse. However, a child spending occasional nights with a grandparent shall not be considered a violation of this provision. Now, I get that Martell wants first right of refusal, but I only feel like he only asked for that because he wants to know her whereabouts. Like if she says, oh, I got to go out of town for such and such and such, instead of asking him because she knows that she's going to get a million questions when she asks him to watch the kids, I feel like she just chooses someone else who's not going to give her that much heat and try to be all up in her business about where she's going, who she's going with, how long she's going to be going. If she can say, hey, mom, can you come to my house and watch my kids for me? Miss Van, I don't think is going to ask a plethora of questions about her whereabouts, who she's going with, Whereas Martell, who is always on the bullshit and always trying to be in her fucking business, is going to give her that type of aggression. So I feel like she just feels, hey, I should give you the first right of refusal, but it's like you're abusing that power by saying that you want to watch your kids when you don't even have food over there for them when they come, right? Like why I got to drop the kids off and then run back over here to Chick-fil-A or wherever, because I know she said the kids love Chick-fil-A and that's why I chose it. But why does she still have to like drop the kids off, bring clean clothes, and bring them food when you should have that in your home? No, I'm not going to give you first right of refusal when you can't feed my kids. Fuck that. And if the courts have a problem with that, then we'll have to file a motion and revisit it. I'm just trying to be fair. Rather than contact the father and allow him the right of first refusal, the mother has utilized at least 6 non-grandparents for overnight care on at least 11 separate occasions. How does he know that? Unless he's stalking her, unless he's grilling the kids. I think he might be grilling the kids. That's how he knows. The guardian ad litem testified that despite the challenges presented by the parents' behavior, she believes that it would be in the children's best interest to maintain status quo to keep the joint custodial arrangements. This recommendation is conditioned on the ability of the parents to co-parent and communicate with each other. Therefore, upon consideration the same, the courts enter the following orders, which the court finds it necessary to promote the best interests of the minor children. Number 1, the parties shall continue their joint custodial agreement contained in their settlement agreement filed on March 21 of 2021. Yeah, I think this may be old, but it's still relevant to what's going on right now. Unless mutually agreed otherwise, the parties shall exercise holiday and special occasion custody of their children as set forth in the joint custody schedule attached as Exhibit 1. The parenting clauses attached as Exhibit 1 and incorporated herein by reference are made a part of this modification order as it sets out in full. I know a few of you guys are saying that this may be old, but it is very much so relevant in terms of what's going on right now, in terms of their custody situation, because Martell is still filing motions on these same things as related to them. Okay. First right, he's still saying that he's not getting first right of refusal and all this other shit. The father shall have the right of first refusal. The purposes of the parties edification. If the parties cannot agree, occasional nights with the grandparents shall be considered once per quarter. Martell always try to make it seem like he's trying to be this great father, but I don't know Martell. I'm not saying he don't love his kids, but I think he loves fighting with Melody because she made a decision to leave more than focusing that love on his children, if I said it right. I think both parents need to focus on just raising the kids and not fighting and trying to get the best out of each other. Martell, you mostly you, Martell. Okay. I think that both parties should not be trying to get back at the other for whatever reason. I think that Martell, you do initiate a lot of the bullshit, but I don't think that Melody should fall into the traps that Martell continues to trap her in and set because of, I don't know, whatever reason, because she's mad at him for whatever reason. I think that Martell also uses Ariane as a way to get back at Melody and do things indirectly to her through Ariane. I think she's very much so still involved in this bullshit, even though she took down all of the stuff on her social media because she's a nurse now. I do think that Ariane is still very much so involved in a lot of the stuff that's currently going on right now in the custody situation, in Melody and Martell's back and forth, in this court stuff, all of it, in terms of, she probably gave testimonies too, for all we know. I don't know. But it's a sticky situation. Ultimately, the children should be number one. Right. The mother shall provide her contact information to the father immediately. Both parties, or parents rather, should reference paragraph 2 of the parenting clauses regarding telephone contact with the minor children. Number 3 says that the minor children shall not participate or be filmed for television. Y'all remember when that came out, or any other social media platform without leave of court or until the children reach the age of majority. Even though Knox is all over the internet. Yeah, I think this document is kind of dated a little bit, but of course, y'all know the children can be on social media now because she does show them a lot on social media. So that part of it has been lifted. They just cannot be on television right now because I don't think that's been approved, but social media, they can be. Both parents shall enroll and complete a conflict resolution class. Both parents and or minor children shall continue therapy with Dominique Dillard. Both parents shall notify the other parent if they are traveling out of town, state, or with the minor children. Okay. The guardian ad litem, Marie Chrisean, I think is her name, submitted the final bill to the court in the amount of $7,000. That's where that $7,000 came from. That was supposed to be garnished. See, that's why I say you got to go back to go forward. Okay, yeah. I see. All right, that's where the $7,000 come. All right, for the amount of $7,660. So Martell, I don't think ever paid the money for the guardian ad litem situation, and I think that's why that whole garnishment thing kind of came into play. Because I think the garnishment was for like $7,000 something. I remember reading. The party shall pay said fees as follows: 75% in the amount of $5,745 will be paid by the plaintiff, Melody Cherie Hope, and 25% paid for the amount of $1,000. That's a little off, right? $1,915 shall be paid by the defendant, Martell Lavore Hope. Why he pay less? The plaintiff, Melody Cherie Hope, has deposited $1,000 in the clerk's office. I'm sorry, leaving a balance of $4,745 that is due and payable to the guardian ad litem. The defendant, Martell Holt, has deposited $1,265 in the clerk's office, leaving a balance of $650. Why you ain't going to pay that $650? The fuck? That is due and payable to the guardian ad litem. Said balances shall be paid in 15 days from the date of this order. If amount due is not paid within the allotted time, a judgment shall be entered against the non-compliant party, the plaintiff, Melody Cherie Holt, or the defendant, Martell Lavore Holt, in favor of Marie Chrisean, which is the guardian ad litem, which execution shall issue. Number 8 says that all other provisions of the court previous order, not specifically modified herein, remains in full force and effect. Number 9 says that all other requested relief is denied. Number 10 says that costs taxed as paid. Done this 28th day. Oh yeah, 2023. Yeah, so we are 3 years behind. Okay. Yeah. So this was sent to me like this morning, and I said, oh, I'll read them out. I'll read them because they're probably directly connected to what's going on right now, because we've been trying to get a better understanding of their most recent court situation. So yeah, so that's it, and that's all on that. I don't have no more. So what do y'all think on that? Sound off. A lot of these motions, of course, have been some have been lifted and some have been rearranged in terms of, like I said, the kids not being on social media. They're on social media now. Martell still does get first right of refusal, I heard. Custody, I think Melody does have primary custody now. So some of these things have been changed since this last court document that we just read was actually put in place. But that is it, and that's all, guys, for this show, because I gotta go. Thank you, guys. Let me look at a couple comments that you guys have right quick before we go. All right, because some of you guys have been following this on other platforms, and that's fine. I don't mind. Y'all can go wherever you want to go. I'm not that type of content creator to say don't go nowhere else, just watch me. No, you can go wherever you want to. Just when you see my notification go out, come through. All right. So Yvette says he was ordered to pay her court fees, which I believe is the $7,000 amount. Okay. Deborah Holder says that Martell does not even like women. That he only wants a woman that he can control just by looking and listening to the words that comes out of his mouth. He has no respect for any woman, not even his mama, because he controls her too. He sure do. If y'all saw that on the show, he controls Marlene. Martell does not want to lose his so-called connection with being her ex by proxy, as he clout chases on her name and only uses the kids as the excuse to hurt. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I agree. Yvette says that the $17,000 she let go because she wanted the divorce to be done. Yep, we know that. Said I was confused because he also owed her 17. I think she excused the 17 grand because when they went to court for the divorce, I think that was one of the things that was holding it up. Melody was just like, yeah, I don't care about the money. Like, keep the 17,000. I just want the damn divorce to go through. And I think that's why they proceeded with doing that. So Martell got away with taking the 17K out of the account, which we all know he spent on Ariane, helping her get a car and something else, okay, and probably went and gambled the rest of it away because he ain't got it now. That's why you can't feed your kids. You had 17 grand and you spend it on your side bitch and you ain't got no food in your house, you fool. All right. Flower Bloom says that Martell is mad that he can't get his hands on the kids' money and he has to pay. He is big mad. Well, yeah, he was upset. That's why he pulled the kids from being on TV because they were receiving money. He knew that Melody had access to it, but he did not. So he felt that he was entitled to whatever money or maybe half or a portion of what the kids were able to earn when they were filming on the show Love and Marriage Huntsville. I think Melody was putting it into some type of an account for the kids. Also, when she started a business for the kids, he wanted a portion of their proceeds, which he, you know, for Sugar Mama. Y'all remember she had the Sugar Mama line out. He was saying that he wanted a portion of that because he asked for it in the courts and they declined it. So he's a bitch ass nigga. Overcomer I Am said that Melody is house hunting in Georgia per her Instagram. Good for her. She can now leave Alabama. That's only if the court say so. If Martell opposes that, she will not be able to leave Alabama. And according to what he wrote, that he is going to do something to stop it. Y'all already saw it. I showed it here on my channel. He's going to try to stop her from leaving Alabama. He doesn't want her to leave Alabama because then he can't be in her business and track every move that she makes. So she can house hunt, but if she presents to the courts and they have a certain amount of time, okay, where she has to respond and he has to respond, which I know he's going to probably respond day one in order to stop her from moving. He doesn't want her to move. Yeah, we established that one is said I don't feel Melody is the problem. It's more of a reactive response. It is, but you know, my thing is this with Martell, you cannot keep giving him chance after chance. I said this the other day. And you can't argue with him. A person like Martell, he's a narc. You cannot argue with narcs because they do not stop arguing. They do not let shit go. Martell internalizes, and every time he see her, it's another issue. I feel that Melody should just only focus on dropping the kids off and leaving. She also should cut her phone on and be recording each time she does that, just so that Martell can't say that this occurred or that occurred, and go down and file a motion and say this, or this. We already heard that some type of warrant was filed. When you're dealing with people like that, you got to stay one step ahead of the situation. That's how I would deal with it. Bitch, you're not going to say I said something I didn't say. As soon as I pull up to your residence, my phone is on record. I'm recording the entire thing until I put my car back in drive and drive the fuck away. That's how you got to deal with a person like Martell, because he has been known to be a pathological liar. He is very bitter. He is still upset because he can't have his way. So he's using the court system to control her and those children, and it's not fair. Okay, but in all fairness, Melody, when you see him, don't play with him. Don't ask him, is he not speaking to you? Don't touch his arm, none of that, because then it kind of gives him this idea of, oh, we're cool and I can be on the fuck shit again. Don't play with him. You can't play with people like Martell because he's bitter. He's calculating. He's not honest. And he's always looking for a way to start some shit. Right? He's done too much. He could never play with me again after the shit he's done. You try to put out revenge P on me, bitch, you can never play with me. You can never fucking play with me. And every time I see him, bitch, I'm going to be on ready. And that's just how it's going to be. You can't play with him. All right? So we got to be fair on both sides. You can't get relaxed and say, oh, you're not speaking to me today and rub. Nah. I ain't playing with you like that. Fuck that. Tisha Drew says that she needs to pay him no mind. She knows that he has several screws loose. Yeah, I mean, it goes both ways. Don't fucking play with a person like that. Martell is a dangerous individual. He don't have shit to lose. I promise you. I've seen too many first 48s. I've seen too many crime shows where men like this, especially in custody situations, will take themselves out and take the whole motherfucking family out because they cannot have their way. Right? If she's already been given primary custody of these children, which is something that he did not want because it gives her more power, which is what he's wanted since they got divorced, was power. You can't fucking play with a person like that. He knows where you live. He's sitting down the street and shit like, baby, no. When it gets to the point where you got to get security because you can't go from point A to point B because this motherfucker's acting crazy and pulling up, you don't play with people like that. I've seen too many situations like that end in unaliving suicide and shit. Not saying that she gonna take her kids out, but I'm saying Martell, if he has a visit with those kids and he has one of those episodes, the nigga is violent. He's already been known to hit the kids and shit. Like, stop playing. Don't play. When you drop him off, have your phone on record. Have your phone on record. And your children should be allowed to have their phones. And if something happened, they should be able to call. I call now. You have to tell your children, call 911. That's right. Call 911. If daddy hit you, call 911. Because it's already in court documents. He's not supposed to be hitting the kids. They're not supposed to be getting corporal punishment in any way, shape, or form. So, period. It's a fucked up situation, and the kids are in the middle. Vanetta Evans says that Martell is a great dad. Melody even said it numerous times. Remember, he was always the hands-on parent. Go back and look at the show from the beginning. I'm not saying that he doesn't do some things great for the kids, but Martell does have a very bad track record. And we got to be honest here. And I'm trying to be fair on both sides when I'm talking about this. So I hope no one takes this wrong. I know a lot of you guys are fans of Melody. Some of you guys are fans of Martell. Be fans with who you want to be with, but let's look at facts. I like facts, okay? I look at facts. I don't go by what I think. I go by what I see on documents and what I know. You cannot play with a narc. Just because y'all are in a good space, great. Because once upon a time, you weren't in a good space. This is going on what, almost 8 years? It's unheard of for the shit to be still this fresh to where a motherfucker is still on the same time he was on day one of the divorce. Like, at some point, the shit should smooth out to where you say, you know what? She's not coming back. It's about the kids now. Like, we shouldn't be fighting. We shouldn't be doing this. We shouldn't be doing that. Like, fuck all that. Nigga, you bringing your side bitch to court situations between me and you and our children. Nah, we never gonna be cool. And that's how you got to deal with him. That's how you got to deal with him. I appreciate your comment though, but Martell, I can't say you're a good father when you take your anger out on your kids and draw blood from your kids because your ex-wife won't come back. We got to be fair on that, right? And then again, Melody, don't put your hands on him to give him a reason to go and do shit. We got to be fair. Fuck. I'm tired. I'm be honest. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this. I know the kids are tired because they are directly in the middle. Deborah Holder said that Martell's point in life is to make Mel life a living hell. I agree. When he is the one that broke up the family, said that I could not hold it together because any sane person would snap on him. That's what he's trying to do. When a person can't physically touch you, mentally, they work on your mental. Because once your mind is gone, baby, once they get here, they got you. Martell knows he cannot touch her. He can't come around her because there's an order. So what is he going to do mentally? Fuck with her. And he's doing it through the kids. She loves her kids. So he going to fuck with her through them kids. He going to mess with them kids. Them kids going to go back home and cry and say, Mama, Daddy did this. And she going to be pissed off and react. And then he going to file a motion. Y'all don't see the game that's being played here? Y'all don't see the game that's being played? He gonna fuck with the kids, have them crying, knowing they're gonna go back home and tell mama. They're gonna go home and tell her, Daddy jacked him up, Daddy slammed somebody against the wall, knowing that's gonna piss her off. Then he gonna file a motion when she call and cuss him out or grab him up by the arm or whatever the case may be. And then here we are in court again. Okay, like it's like, baby, every dime you make, you spending it in court. Damn, I feel like they're spending the majority of the time in court. Flower Bloom says that he wants to destroy Melody in every way that he can. People who believe him, something is wrong with them. I don't believe anybody. I told you I believe the court documents, right? I read the court documents. Show me the proof. People can tell me all day long, Caramel, so-and-so said this. Thank you for telling me, but send me the court document. I want to read the court documents and what they have to say. All right. Period. That's how I'm rolling. I don't go on hearsay over here. I go by facts. Tiffany says that I'm sure that it's hard to co-parent with Martell. I'm pretty sure it is. We've seen it. A person that's bitter. Yeah. Miss Drew says that he's mad that they don't want to stay with Marble or Marlene. Yeah, I wouldn't want to stay with her crazy ass either. She drank all the damn time. Martell don't have self-love. He's very bitter though. We can keep going with these comments, child. I think you guys know the gist of what's going on. But thank you guys for rocking with me for this video. I do have to go because I got to get my work done as well. Okay, we'll revisit some more of this. Thank you guys. Keep commenting. I'll respond. Again, it's nothing wrong with being fans with who you want to be fans with. It's fine. If some of you guys are in here, y'all like Martell. I'm not telling you who to like and who not to like, but definitely look at the facts of what's going on here. We've seen how Martell has acted over the years. I already read to you guys court documents over and over and over about what's been going on. At the end of the day, Melody decided to leave him because Martell, you started this shit by stepping out and cheating on this woman. This has been going on before the show even came on TV. 5 years, I think he was messing with Ariane before Love and Marriage Huntsville came on the air. So she was been dealing with this shit before Love and Marriage Huntsville came on in 2019 or 18. So we're not going to sit on here and act like Martell is this innocent being because he been playing in her fucking face since before the show. All right. And they came onto the show to try to be cordial and you know, have this family dynamic so that the show could be on air. But ultimately, this shit is toxic. This shit is fucking toxic. And I really don't want nobody to get hurt behind this because when you're dealing with emotions, sometimes people act out of emotions and the shit can get dangerous. I don't want to see it go there because children are involved and I'm tired of hearing about the kids being in the middle and getting abused and all this shit. That shit got to stop. But y'all sound off. Okay. Y'all said you heard Ariane. I did hear that as well. The Ariane might make an appearance on the show. If that happens, I mean, y'all already saw how part 2 of the reunion ended where Martell did question him about infidelities. What better person to bring on there to put their infidelities out there that knows a lot about it? Ariane, right? She did help him do the interview. But we'll see what happens as I get updates. So will you guys as well. Thank you guys so much for being here. Yeah, sound off on all the topics because you guys do know Melody said that as long as she's on the show, Ariane cannot be on the show. Melody has been gone now, going on another season, and if they're going to bring her on, she would definitely come on now that Melody is not there. I do see Carlos doing that at some point in time because the fans, I see a lot of people in comments, they are asking that Ariane come on the show. Do I want to see her on our screen? Fuck no, because I think that this ultimately was a show that Melody and Martell built. I don't think that Ariane should come on here and ride off somebody else's coattail and earn a coin off somebody's back when you've already ruined a marriage. Like, I just don't agree with that, but it is what it is. Shit. I don't have a say so, but please tap on the like, hype up this video, and support the video. We will appreciate that. Love you guys down. Mods, thank you so much for doing an awesome job. Tiffany Thomas, Rose Armstead, True TV Podcast. Thank y'all for modding both channels to be exact, okay? Because we are streaming on both. Thank you so much to all of my content creators for coming over and supporting this video as well. Thank you so much to all of my Caramelians in the chat as well as in the bushes. Please support the video, hype it up, like it up. Please go over to all of my platforms under Caramel Rail and support as well. See you guys for the next one. Until the next one. Bye.